Everybody, Chad here. In this video, we're going to talk about Neville Goddard's revision technique, how to revise your day. But I really want to dissect this principle. I really want to, how does the revision technique, how does it relate to setting an intention, going inside your imagination, living in the end, dwelling in the end, and we dwell in the end, we live in the end until what we want actually comes into reality. How does the revision technique relate to all this and why we must do this? Because if we don't do this, this is what really slows us down and it stops the manifesting process. And it took me a while to kind of, get this principle. Like, why do I have to revise my day? Now, I get it. I kind of get the grand scheme of it, but why we must do it, and it's a must that we do this. So let's get rocking on this principle. Now, really quickly, the revision technique, it's just like if we set an intention and we go inside our imagination and live in the end, just like we create a bedtime routine. So the perfect time to do the revision technique is at bedtime, because you want to do it the same way, where you go inside your imagination. Then inside your imagination, you're producing a feeling state. And once you produce that feeling state, you drift off to sleep. That's the first step here. Now, the second step is the revision technique is revising your day. And you really learn this from Neville Goddard's Pruning Shears book. And I post an audio down here, and I'll actually post it up here so you can actually listen to it. This is one of my favorite books or favorite audios by Neville Goddard. And he goes into the revision technique. So it's a must listen. But the principle behind revising your day is really this, and this is why you must do this, is we all have negative things happen throughout our day. We all have things happen to us that we don't want to happen. Maybe we get in arguments. Maybe we get in arguments with our boss at work. Maybe we get in arguments with our significant other. Or it's just something negative happened. Something didn't really go our way. So at nighttime, before you go to bed, you go inside your imagination and you revise your day. And the meaning behind this is you revise your perfect day. Like if you got in arguments, those arguments didn't happen. Make sense? If something bad happened, you omit that. Or if you don't get along with your boss, you go inside your imagination, and inside your imagination, you have a wonderful relationship with your boss. That's really the principle behind revising your day. Now, why must we revise our day? How does it directly link to our intention setting? For example, if I have an intention, and I have my main intention, and I have like 3 or 4 things attached to my intention. And I'm in a pretty good habit now of producing a bedtime routine, and I go to sleep, and I try my best to go to sleep in that feeling state and then drift off to sleep. But what I start noticing is, I noticed this the other day, was that like my girlfriend and I had like a brief argument, but for some reason I kind of festered on it. And remember, if you're festering on something, positive or negative, you start producing a feeling state. You start producing, an emotion around it. And the emotion is natural. And that's what makes it so powerful. And when you have a negative emotion, it's natural. You're producing a feeling state, but you're doing it naturally. There's no force to it. And what I noticed was it was kind of close. It was kind of getting close to bedtime. But when I went into my bedtime routine, I was trying to go inside my intention, trying to get into that feeling state in my imagination of what I wanted, my main intention. But this disagreement, this argument that produced such a strong feeling state with me kept on popping in just natural. And I ended up falling asleep in that state. What I found was when I woke up through the night, I kept on thinking about it just naturally. Then when I woke up in the morning, I kept on just naturally thinking about it. And what happens is, whatever our feeling state is, whatever we have a strong emotion around, that emotion's going to win. That emotion's going to outweigh no matter how many affirmations you do during the day, no matter how much scripting you do during the day, no matter how many I am statements that you're saying throughout the day. That real emotion that you have is going to outweigh all those things you're doing. And that real emotion, if you're not careful and you don't correct it, the fruition will actually start coming into your life. You will manifest it. This is the exact reason why we must do revise our day, do Neville Goddard's revision technique. When something happened like this, and once I noticed this, and I got up the next day, once I really noticed what was happening, and I was actually in the gym when I realized this. I was actually running on the treadmill, like walk, run on a treadmill. And I always do, like after I exercise, I always go to the stretching area, stretch out, and I do a brief meditation, maybe 5 or 10 minute meditation while I'm there. That's kind of my last thing I do in my workout routine. Inside this meditation, I realized what happened. I became aware of it, what was going on, and I went inside my imagination and revised my day. I revised that conversation I was having between my girlfriend and myself. So once I did that, and it is amazing how it worked, once I really did that, because I really had a real emotion around it, it fixed it just like that. Really, it just went out of my mind. I wasn't festering on it no more. And it left me. I didn't fester on it. And for me, that was a big deal, because lots of times if I think about something negative, for me, because I like to analyze and overanalyze, maybe you're like me, maybe you're not. But if you like to analyze and overanalyze, you're going to get what I'm saying here. That if something negative happens, or I even think negative, I can have a problem with, I fester on it. I'm constantly thinking about it all throughout the day. And sometimes it can last 2, 3, 4 days, 5 days. So I have to be really careful, because I love to overanalyze, that I'm not thinking and festering on negative things. This is why the revision technique is so powerful. Because Neville Goddard knew that, we're human, okay? Things are going to happen. Negative things are going to happen. Things are not always going to go our way. So the way to kind of fix it, in a way it doesn't really mess up your main intention, okay? Because it can mess up your main intention. So you don't want that to happen, is you revise your day. Anytime you've had something negative happen in your day, when you go to bed that night, you revise your day. You revise it into the perfect day that you wanted to have that day. And then when you wake up in the morning, your imagination creates reality. So when you start thinking about it, it didn't happen anymore. That negative thing didn't happen anymore. It just goes away. It doesn't affect you. When we go into the third part of this, how it kind of messes up your main intention, how it can really slow down the manifesting process and sometimes even stop it. Remember, when we're trying to manifest, we set an intention, we go inside our imagination, we live in the yin and draw in the yin. But this sounds simple, but it's actually kind of hard, okay? And the reason why it's hard is because we're trying to produce a feeling state. We're trying to produce a real emotion inside our imagination that we're actually doing it. We're actually living the lifestyle that we want. Whatever our intention is, it's already happened. It's already occurred. Okay, you already live in the yin, draw in the yin. You produce a great big emotion around it, and you drift off in that state. The issue is with this is when you first start, is it seems forced. You're kind of forcing it. I'm forcing myself to do my bedtime routine. If I'm going to be 100% honest with you, I'm forcing myself to do my bedtime routine. I'm forcing myself to lay there and go inside my imagination. I'm forcing myself to think about my intention. Everything in the beginning, everything is forced. Okay, now remember, I always do videos that force negates. That is true, but to end up getting into a habit and getting into where I'm not forcing it anymore, it becomes natural. Well, you need to get in a habit first. You need to, in the beginning, it is going to be forced. In the beginning, you are going to force it because you're not in a habit of doing it. And the reason behind revising your day is so powerful is because when we have something negative happen to us, or maybe when we wake up in the morning, our mind drifts off into the negative. We start thinking about things we don't like, things we hate. But things we don't like, things we hate, when we have bad things happen to us, guess what? That produces a real emotion. That produces a real feeling state. So when that produces a real feeling state, and then on top of that, if you catch yourself when you're aware, you'll notice that when something negative happens, you replay it in your mind. You go inside your imagination and you replay it in your mind, because remember, whatever feeling state you have, positive or negative, and I'm talking negative here, it's a real emotion. It's a real feeling state, and it's natural. It's not forced. It's just naturally coming at you. This negative emotion right here is going to outweigh your bedtime routine. It's going to win. It's going to win against what you really want in your life. It's going to win against your all the stuff that all your attention setting, all your imagination, everything that's forced on this side because you're not used to doing it. You're trying to create a habit. It's going to win. And Neville Goddard knew this. It's going to win. Your negative state over here is going to win your dream life over here. It's going to win. So the only way to stop it is to revise your day. There's two ways you can do this. The most powerful is a bedtime routine. You go inside your imagination, you revise your day, and you drift off to sleep. As you drift off to sleep, that impresses your subconscious mind that what you want has occurred. Okay, when you revise your day, it occurred in your subconscious mind. Now, another way you can do this is if you're doing a meditation. Maybe for me, sometimes I'll get in the middle of the day, sometimes I'll get in a sleepy state where I want to take a nap, and I'll do the same exact thing. Is I'll go inside my imagination, I'll revise my day, I'll replay that in my imagination, in my mind, until I drift off to sleep into a nap. So those are a couple ways you can actually do this. I did mention earlier, sometimes when I go to the gym, when I end my workout, I'll go into the stretching room, I stretch out, then at the very end, I'll do a 5 or 10 minute meditation. But usually when I meditate, I'm quiet. I'm getting my mind super quiet. I'm getting in a very serene feeling. Then I start going inside my imagination, thinking about my intention, my imagination, and living in the end. And I'll sit in that state for 5 or 10 minutes. You can do the same thing revising your day. So this stuff is so powerful. But we have to revise our day, and that's how it connects to everything. That's how we use this technique, because if we don't do it, this is one of the main things. There's many things, of course, but it's one of the main things that basically stop the manifesting process for you, or it slows it down because you get too caught up into the negativity in your life. Okay, we all have negativity in our life. We all have things that don't go our way. Okay, we don't have that perfect life, but it's really our perception of it. Okay, that's really what it is. It's not that bad things are not going to happen. It's not that negative things are not going to happen, but it's our perception of it. It's how I actually perceive it. And if I perceive it as a negative, then right there, once I perceive it as a negative, once I start festering on it, then once I fester, it goes inside. I start imagining that event and replaying that event. It creates an emotion, a negative emotion, and it's a real emotion. It's a natural emotion. And that real emotion, if I don't stop it, will eventually attract in my life. So that's why I want to go inside and revise my day, revise those events, and change those events inside my imagination. That way it didn't happen. That way it doesn't mess up my main intention I want for my life. It doesn't mess up my dream life, what I'm trying to attract. But other than that, my friends, hopefully this helped. This is a community, by the way. Comment below, let me know your thoughts. Comment below, let me know if you tried this, if it's worked. If you have any questions, of course, comment below and I'll do my best to answer them. If I don't answer them, lots of times I'll actually do a video on the question. But if I think it's going to help everybody, I think it's a great question, I'll actually make a video on it. Sometimes it takes me a little bit of time, of course, to actually do it, get in the mood to talk, all that jazz. But anyway, blessings to you, and I'll see you in the next video.